Welcome to Boomer and Senior Travel. I'm your host, Debbie Gerber. I have to preface this with, I don't drink any alcohol. But if you have a chance, and we did, to take a tour in the winelands, you should do it. It's for more than those that drink. There is more to see there than just wine. But even if you don't drink wine, you can still have an appreciation for the many, many years it takes to build a good wine business and the process that it has to go through in order to become a fine wine. We went on our tour into the winelands, and one of the stops, my favorite of them, was at the Fairview Winery. The Fairview Winery, as you pull up, the first thing that welcomes you is the Goat Tower. This is the most unique thing. I thought I'd landed myself in Switzerland or at the home of Rapunzel. Wasn't just sure which, but it did remind me of the book Heidi, one of my favorite books growing up. Heidi, where she would go out and do the goat herding. It was really, and it made a big impression on me as a young girl. So when I saw this tower and the goats that lived there, I was absolutely amazed. In fact, I could hardly tear myself away to go any further because I wanted to take pictures and watch them. I wanted them to walk up those spirals, that spiral staircase. I wanted them to go figure out how they got in and out that tiny doorway. Well, it was really fun because we did get to watch them do that. We got to watch them go in and out the doorways and climb up and down those stairs, and it was just fantastic. What a neat thing. Most interesting about this is, though, that this is only a few of a very, very large goat herd that they have on the farm. In reading, I think they said there was over 1,000 goats in their goat herd. So this was just a sampling of those goats. The goats are important because they do make cheese as well as wine. They have cheeses in all kinds of flavors, and as part of your wine tasting tour, you get to sample some of the cheeses. They make both milk from cow's milk cheese, as well as goat milk cheese. So they ushered us from there into the wine tasting room. The wine tasting room, they have a very creative process of allowing you to taste their wines. It made it just fun. It made it a whole experience. And so they called them pods. They were like these little bars, and about 6 people or so could stand at the bar. Or I think, gosh, it was more than that because we had 11 of us. We told them as we went in that we didn't drink any alcohol, and so they ushered us to one where they let us taste their different grape juices. And so even though we didn't do the wine tasting of the wines, they also had something there for people who did not drink alcohol, which I was really surprised at because I've been to others and that has not been the case. So thank you, Fairview, for a wonderful experience of being able to do the tasting. They, explained to us how to do the tasting, and everybody just had a blast. Everybody probably thought we were drunk because we were having such a good time. It was really fun. And then the rest of our groups, of course, were at the pods that had their wine tasting, and they all said it was just marvelous. They all were talking about it, how great it was. From there, they took us back into the wine rooms, and they explained to us the process of making wine. I'm not going to pretend that I remembered all or know much about it, but it was very impressive. The wine barrels and the stacking and how they have to keep them at just the right temperatures and humidities, and what a process. But it, I'm sure, makes other people very happy that the wineries do their job and make this wonderful drink. From there, they ushered us into the area where the cheese tasting was. And they had different cheeses, and they were labeled, and you could go around and try them. They have a really fun shop there where you can shop for cheeses and wines, and they had all kinds of cheeses. In fact, They have a place where they make them right there, and they have all different kinds. They try new flavors and different things, and so you get to even try some of the things that they're experimenting with flavors. It's just really a fun place. And then as we left, they had art that was done out of old machinery parts from the farm. And that was quite interesting, and whoever did them did a marvelous job of putting them together into a piece of art. And then there were the koi ponds, and they were fun just to sit around and watch the koi fish. And then, of course, we had to say goodbye as we left the goat tower and left the farm. Fairview has a restaurant there as well that had marvelous food. So this is like a whole destination. You could go to the Fairview Winery and just spend a whole afternoon and have a wonderful destination there if you're looking for a winery to go and visit. Fairview was one of my very top favorites as we toured through South Africa. Thanks for joining us for this tour of the winelands in South Africa. We have visited a couple of places as well as a town, and it is really a neat thing to go on these wine tours. Whether you drink alcohol or whether you do not, it is, or it will be, one of your favorite things that you do on your trip to South Africa. Come join us at www.boomerandseniortravel.tv for more on Africa. We have done several shows on Africa showing everything from Cape Town to safaris, Swaziland. We went to Swaziland. We went to the north part of South Africa. We went to Johannesburg. Come take a look at some of the other videos that we have on South Africa. www.boomerandseniortravel.tv.